Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fail PG. You may have noticed it's just myself and the despicable dancing Surge here, and there's a good reason for that. Unfortunately, we discovered in post-editing that for episode 12, we lost all of the audio. Got everybody's video just fine, no problem, but due to an unfortunate recording glitch with the software that we use, everybody's audio was dropped and there's no recovering it. So we don't have an episode 12 to present to you, unfortunately. I'm sorry. What we can do is try to give you sort of a high-level summary of what transpired over the 2-ish hours that episode went on so that you guys aren't completely lost when we go into episode 13, where we fix the recording issue and actually are able to carry on. Sorry, I wish I had something better for you, but technology is what it is, and we're all victims of it at one time or another.
Yeah, and in this case, I will take full blame of this because, as the guy technically doing the directing, I should have double checked by doing a test recording first to double check. But I was so sure because the last recordings that we did, everything recorded just fine except for maybe episode, what was that, 11? Where we
Yeah, it
had
was
an issue
11.
on the intro. Uh,
Mhm.
Yeah, other than that, like all the settings held out throughout all the recordings, and I'm almost sure it was probably a Windows 10 update that screwed it, but I can't be 100% sure at this point because so many of those updates have happened at this point. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? So, and speaking of episode 11, that is not at post just yet, but it will be soon. Hopefully, by the time this video is posted, that video will have been posted. We are still doing some editing to fix audio issues in that as well, because apparently Skype's bandwidth that day decided to act extra stupid. So I'm going through a 2 hour recording session and literally cutting in and out of audio to sound boost each individual piece that needs it. It's a nightmare.
It's pretty bad. On the bright side, though, now that we've discovered that these issues exist, we've changed our recording setup so that we now have backups of everything, video and audio, from two different independent sources. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this won't happen again.
Yeah, and we've actually done, I believe, two recording sessions since that. We've
Mm-hmm.
discovered that, and uh, yeah, and we got another one today, actually. And just so you guys know, it's Sunday, the 15th of August that we're doing this. So there's the veil peeled back for you.
Oh no! Now
Just
you've shown them the back end of how everything works. It's going to be all downhill from there.
what? I haven't explained the other thing though. You know how you secretly insert penis into the background of everything, and nobody ever notices.
Moving on. I do insert him into the background of everything, so technically what he says is true.
See. So, starting off at the beginning of our little adventure of episode 12, this actually makes me sad that we're not able to show this part. Uh, so we pick up where we left off in episode 11 with Stryker dealing with the mysterious shovel stranger who happens to be some sort of headhunter, chasing him down. Stryker almost dies in this encounter, but gets saved by two things. One, the guy's stupidity for kids, who hands Riku some sort of paperwork with an order, I guess, that is for Stryker's head on a platter from
Yeah, it was his contract. He like
and the
literally handed Riku his contract
contract.
for the hit on Stryker.
And two, there was a scuffle with a bunch of the Assassin Guild's guys when Stryker decided he was going to get up and try to run away. He went towards the Assassin's Guild, if I remember correctly, went straight
Mhm.
through the front gate. Him and Riku ran in, and the Assassin's Guild guys came out, and the guy went to go reach for his contract. And then Riku just stood there, stone faced, still hiding this guy's contract in her robes.
Yep. Yeah, and so Stryker, using his amazing power of ownership of the dice and pleasing of the dice gods, managed to roll some pretty wicked numbers and convinced the assassins that he was on their side and they should dispatch Tall, Dark, and Shovely. And so the headhunter had to retreat. at least for now. We may see him again later. But yeah, that little segment ended with Stryker and Riku kind of safely inside the Assassin's Guild Hall, surrounded by agents. Um, and then that brought us to the adventures of poor Mr. Knoll, uh, whom, as you may recall, at the end of episode 11, had trapped himself in what looked like a little mini lecture hall inside the Assassin's Guild. And the assassins had basically narrowed in on where he was and were trying to figure out how to open the doors that he had sealed to get in. Um, Fortunately for him, he realized that the Iron Maiden that was resting against the back wall was actually covering up a secret passageway out of the chamber. And just as the assassin's agents managed to get into the room, he slipped into that secret passage and exited. And the passage took him down a long hallway behind all of the assassins, and so he was able to emerge from that and then continue his escape. One agent lurking in the shadows did spot him and attempt to waylay him, but he saw it coming, pinned the guy, extracted some information about how he could get out of the building, and then knocked the fella out and continued on. And he carried on down that hallway until he got to the main vestibule for the entrance of the guild hall, where Stryker and Riku and all the other agents happened to be. And so he was captured again. But once more, Stryker used his silvery tongue, which still, I don't know how he manages this. It's not like his stats for charisma are particularly high, but he's just a ball and roller this episode.
Luck absorption. He just
Yeah,
takes all the luck from the rest of us and
he,
transfers it into his own, and the dice shows it. It is what it is.
it really is. He definitely was just eating that up to beat the band. So he convinced the assassins to allow him to take Noel as his prisoner and escort him back to the guard barracks so that he could be questioned by the Murad guards before being released back to Assassin's Guild custody.
Yeah. And if I remember
Um,
correctly, we they left Riku with the Assassin's Guild, right?
yeah. So the head honcho, in the absence of the actual guild master, assigned like five or six assassins to escort them, but Riku was not among them. She had to stay behind in the Assassins Guild Hall.
Yeah. And then there was our girl Ronnie, who technically didn't really do anything this episode. She mostly just traveled up the coast, ran into a fisher's village. She was given really weird looks because they thought maybe she might be traveling as a bandit or something, looking to rob them. She was later able to convince one of them that she was, good people, sat down, had a drink. Good old Southern girl Ronnie in her manners.
When she chooses to have them.
Yeah. I mean, she has them more than anybody else in this thing so far.
Yeah, there have been, moments.
Better moments than most. Uh, but yeah, that's mainly the synopsis for this one. Just like I said, there's a lot of small details that we're not really discussing right now. We're really condensing it as as a fill-in for what actually happened. I wish we could give you guys the full 2 hours of that session, but again, it's lost to hell. Sad face.
And I couldn't convince Serge to go down and get it. Something about having his passport revoked and needing to get all the paperwork filled out. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really hard to do when you pissed off Satan and got kicked out of hell from selling ice water and Dippin' Dots that you ordered from glaciers that you also used Satan's credit card to order in the first place. So it's a it's a really hard process at that point, and I'm trying to make it up to Satan, but just won't let me.
Yeah. So it's looking like we're not going to get that audio back, unfortunately. It's well and truly gone. You can totally blame Mr. Surge. It's completely his fault. Uh, yeah. We'll just go with that.
Yeah. But stick around for more content from Fail PG and other things on the channel. I will be posting, hopefully sometime this week, I will be posting another video with a channel update itself and an update on my actual health and being, as to which will also explain why there has been less updates in content. Spoilers, my health is still not better, and it's feeling like it may not get better as soon as I would hope. That will be explained in detail later. But never mind that for now. Stay healthy, stay well, stay lovely. We'll see you next time on the game room, and stay tuned for more Fail PG.